Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going over Troye Sivan's EP called Any Dream. So Troye Sivan I've been a huge fan of Troye Sivan since he started, and it took me like maybe a couple weeks to get into him before his first EP. And so I got into it, loved it, and I kept track of him since on. And I have to say, his music gets better and better and better and better each time. Like, each time he releases some type of music video or some type of music or some type of, like, album or EP, it's just upgraded to something else. Or going a direction, like, going in more depth about a direction. And I also like the fact that he taught his subjects are very male, gay men centered, and I think that's really cool because I think that I think when he first came out, there wasn't really a lot of gay men that were in the music industry that was talking openly, like saying he does this, he touches me like this, I see him, I love him, kind of thing. Like, there wasn't really a lot of those. Even Adam Lambert took a minute before getting to that direction, and even that, I still don't think he's completely immersed in it entirely, but like, Troye was one of the first people that actually, like, one of the first gay men that actually, like, said he, and actually did pronouns that actually wasn't just they or some other person. It could be gay, could not be gay, kind of rule. And I know back then we couldn't really do that, but now we can. So in this album, hence why I talk about that, is this album pretty much does that. Oh, so well. I was actually worried about it because it was an EP, and I was like, ugh, an EP really couldn't just give us an album. It's been long enough. But this EP is definitely a snippet. If it's going to be like the Wild EP where he gives you a snippet of the album and then completely gives you the full-on album later on, I'm so for it. I'm so here for it right now. Like, I love this. So let me go through some of the highlights of the songs. There's only 6 songs, so I can probably go through this pretty easily. But so let's get into it. So first off, we gotta go into the pattern of his world. So you have Blue Neighborhood, which came out in 2015, which is a little more kind of opening yourself up to Troye, kind of getting yourself into it. He's kind of slowly introducing yourself into who he is. But you definitely get a lot of, like, that's where you get a lot of the he's and stuff like that into it, but not too much, but just enough. And then you go into Bloom, which came out in 2018, and he just takes it even further, and it's just, like, more, like, electric pop, dream pop kind of direction he's going towards, and just amazing. And every song is so vulnerable, and so, like, it's amazing. Anyway, and then this one, In a Dream, seems like there's a pattern that goes into. So you start off with Take Yourself Home, which is the first song off of it, and it's pretty much about LA. He lives in LA now, and he kind of is getting, finding a way to adapt to it, but obviously it's starting to take a toll on him to the point where it's just not really, as he said, it's not really much of a community. There's not much community feel that, like, there is in Australia or where he's directly from. And I feel like I think that he really misses that. In LA, you're more not selfish, but you're more self-centered. You gotta do stuff for yourself, kind of thing, as he explains it. So you're just like, and that he doesn't really care for. So he's asking himself, he's being very real with himself. It's like, is this what you really want to do? Is this really who you want to be surrounded by? Is there examples that you want to use? And so you just Take Yourself Home is a good, honest, face-to-face talk with himself. Like, talk with his own self. Easy is actually very good. I was very worried for it for a second, and I got into it. It's great 80s kind of Prince sound, with the help of Ozgo, who's done stuff for Taylor Swift, DNCE, Tuvlo, and so yeah. So anyway, so he helped him with that, and also Take Yourself Home, and I love his sound. This is pretty much just talking about him wanting to reconcile a damaged relationship or falling apart relationship as it is, and with the possibility that Troye was the one that cheated. But yeah, it's just him trying to reconcile the relationship and try to like get him to not leave him. But of course, obviously, it does happen because could cry just thinking about you is the next song. Very short song, and it's great. It's like, oh, it's gonna be interlude. It's more than just that. He goes into just saying things like, every guy I want looks something like you, like everything that's around him has to do with him, with his ex. And he says, I don't know who I am with or without you, but I guess I'm about to find out. And I think that's very sad and very interesting too. It's interesting. Usually it's like, I don't know who I am without you. But apparently he doesn't really know who he is with this guy too. So it's just like, without him it struggles, but it's like, it's just an average struggle of like, without you. You know, without any type of person you break up with. Sometimes is an issue. But when you have an issue where you can't really know you don't know who you are with a person, that's a huge issue. And I think that he definitely found that out. Going into Stud, so I think we're now into the point where they have broken up and everything, and he's now back into the single world. And Stud is a great song, lyrically and just subject wise. It talks about validation, sex or body dysmorphia, desire for sex, and pretty much the common issues that we have as gay men. I feel like it's so big. Like we were meant to come out into our community with a thought that we would be accepted anyways, and we can do anything we want. We can be anything we wanted. We can just be as gay as possible. But you can't really do that in some spaces. And good portions of spaces, like, they're mask for mask. And you have to be masculine, you have to be femme enough, you have to be a little bit in between enough. And you just like, Stud-wise is more directly for the mask direction. And he's like, I wish I can be like you. I wish I want to be just like that. Show me how, would you even take me in? Like, could I even be a stud to you? That's what he says. Could I still be a hunk to you? And one of the things he says is like taking the fun out of fucks. And pretty much saying like, the fucks that we used to not give, we had to give more, we had to give a different type of fuck inside our community. It's ridiculous. And I completely agree with that. There's so much validation needing all over in our community. Dysmorphia, body dysmorphia is a huge thing in gay men, in the gay male community. I can't really speak for the other parts of our community, or of our queer community. So leave a comment below if you know. But like, in the gay community, gay men community is shit. It's just shitty, and it's so known in that direction. And we just have to. And where do we go to like learn better ways to see that? You know, the straight community doesn't have shit to say to us. You know, like they can't really. They have their own kind of dysmorphia and shit like that towards women themselves. So it's just like. We're kind of in a lost cause in a way, but at the same time we've been working on fixing that in a way. Teenage Rager is the next song. I liked it. I thought it was okay. I think that this one is a good message to, subject-wise. So in this one, he pretty much is talking to I feel like he's talking to his old self, saying like, to himself now, saying like, there is youthfulness in you that you used to have, that wild you, like there still is that inside of you. You just have to find it, and bring him out, and not be afraid to just show him. And then finally, in the dream is a huge surprise. Like Stud, it was a huge surprise. The production's amazing, this whole thing, but I was really surprised with this one. This one's pretty much just saying how after all of that direction is. So not only was he trying to be a stud, or trying to understand, or now has the pressures of trying to be a stud, but also feeling like he needs to, realizing it's like, I am fun, I can be fun, I can go out and have a good time, like, not, like, putting myself in one box. So in this one, it's just like, after all that fun, I'm sure, like, it's now, he just misses his ex, pretty much. He's like, he knows that he doesn't want to let him in again. He's like, I won't let you in, and that's the hardest thing I've ever said. Pretty much, he will not let him back into his world, but he really does miss him. He misses him a lot, and that's a very hard, tough thing to do for him right now. And one thing he says is, put my shoes on and run away, but you still show up in my dreams. So pretty much, he has dreams about this guy, his ex, and it just happens over and over again. He's like, I guess I guess I should have known that you wouldn't stay away, you know? Anyway, but I love this new touch of different new sound and experimenting different sounds. I love it all. I love the lyrics, the subjects, and everything. I honestly give this a 5 out of 5. And that's pretty much it. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. If you liked it, didn't like it, tell me what your favorite songs were, and all that jazz. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And I'll see you all in the next video.